got a word from the Lord to speak to the people. This word is for whoever hears it. This word is for our government. I currently live in the United States of America. This word is for all the nations, not just America. I'm going to start out in 1 Samuel 3. I'll be stopping in 1 Samuel 3:11. I just want to give a little bit of a backstory. This is about right when the Lord first comes to Samuel and reveals himself to him. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. And the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not, lie down again. And he went and lay down. And the Lord called it yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli, and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son, lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time, and he rose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go, lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called, as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle. In that day I will perform against Eli all things that I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. So Eli, if we went back into the other chapter of chapter 2 in 1 Samuel, it was said that Eli's sons, Eli is the high priest, and so he was a man of power, a man of authority, of leadership, and his sons were not abiding by that leadership, and they were disobeying God, and they were doing evil things in the sight of the Lord. And it said that his sons were of Belial. Okay? So the sons of Belial means lawless, wicked, and worthless. They did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Okay? They were worshiping false gods. They were drunkards. They were getting into all the things that they should not have been doing as Hebrew men. They were not abiding by the commandments of the law. I'm going to go to my next chapter, which would be 2 Kings 12. You're going to see a theme here. Or sorry, 2 Kings 21:12. I'll just start at the top again. Read about 12 scriptures here. 2 Kings 21. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hephzibah, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. There's a common theme there. After the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel, for he built up again the high places, which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. And he reared up altars for Baal, and made a grove, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served them. And he built altars in the house of the Lord, of which the Lord said, In Jerusalem will I put my name. And he built altars for all the host of heaven, in the two courts of the house of the Lord. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observed times, and used enchantments. So he was basically going to mediums, he was in spiritists, and he was going to the illegal, he was accessing the spirit realm, and divination, accessing these things illegally through darkness, through witchcraft, through sorcery. And it says right here, and he set a graven image of the grove that he had made in the house, of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, In this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Pride. Where I will put my name forever. Neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded them. So God had given them the law through Moses, and God had given them a covenant. If they would do God's will, if they would serve God and no other gods before him. But they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before the children of Israel. And the Lord spake by his servant the prophets, saying, Because Manasseh, king of Judah, hath done these abominations, and hath done wickedly above all the Amorites did, which were before him, and hath made Judah also to sin with his idols, therefore thus saith the Lord. That means listen, God's speaking. God of Israel, behold, I am bringing such evil upon Jerusalem and Judah, that whosoever heareth it, both his ears shall tingle. Whosoever shall hear it, both their ears shall tingle. Okay, I'm going to go on to here now. My next one will be in Jeremiah 19. Some of you may know Jeremiah, known as the weeping prophet. Jeremiah chapter 19. Thus saith the Lord, Go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take of the ancients of the people. That means he said, go get this physical bottle, and bring to here the ancients of the people, were the priests, the leaders of those days, the kings, the people, anybody who was in authority and power that had say over what the nations did and who they served, and the laws and ordinances, anybody who had some sort of form of leadership. So he said, grab the ancients of the people and of the ancients of the priests, and go forth unto the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim their words that I shall tell thee. And say, Hear ye the word of the Lord, O kings of Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth, his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of the innocents. And they also had built up altars to Baal. So as we look at these scriptures here, God says that he's going to bring disaster upon the people who hear this message. It says, just like, so in 1 Samuel, God revealed himself to him, to Samuel when he was a young boy, and he said, listen, I'm going to give you a word to speak to the people and to the inhabitants of this world and to the inhabitants of where you're living. And in 2 Kings it said, they did evil in the eyes of God. So everyone who heard that message, their ears would tingle. And in Jeremiah, God said, listen. He told Jeremiah, thus saith the Lord, tell them, this is what I say to them, that whosoever shall listen, the kings, the people, I'm going to bring disaster, and I will make the ears of everyone who hears it tingle. They were worshiping false gods. They were lawless. They were making up things. They weren't doing the things of God. They weren't doing what they were told. They weren't doing what they were told. They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. And they had the blood of the innocents on their hands. Does that sound familiar? So the common theme in here is people in power, the kings, the high priests, and the people, right? So you can look at this in today's, it'd be government, politicians, presidents, kings, leaders, anybody of authority. They disobeyed God, they broke his commandments, and they worship false gods. And right now the Lord is saying, whosoever hears this message, your ears will tingle. And he's going to bring destruction on this people. The time is short, everybody. Jesus Christ is coming back. And this time he's not coming back as a lamb, he's coming back as a lion. This time he's not coming back to destroy the earth by flood, by water. He did that in Genesis and already wiped out everybody and everybody who disobeyed and everybody who was worshiping false gods and doing evil in the sight of him. He destroyed the earth and the abominations by water. This time he's going to do it by fire. So the word of the Lord today is, anybody who hears this, thus saith the Lord, your ears will tingle. He's coming to destroy. It's time to get right, or you will be left. You will be left. In the name of Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is near. If you can just look at the signs. It says we won't know the day or the hour, but we will know the seasons. It's time to look up. Watch. It's time to look up. Watch. For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So anybody who hears this message, your ears will tingle. And I'm sure your ears are already starting to tingle. I'm sure there's other people out there that their ears are already tingling for what is to come.